Outsiders never understood the darkness in Detroit. They see the abandoned houses, the empty blocks, the busted streetlights flickering like they're scared of what's hiding in the shadows. But for folks like me, born and raised on the west side, we knew there was something deeper. Something older. Something that felt like it was always listening. My name's Marcus. I used to think the creepiest thing about this city was how quiet the nights could get. Then I got a job with the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. It wasn't my dream gig, but it paid better than the auto shop. And my girl Tiana was pregnant. It was time to step up. The first time I went down into those old overflow tunnels, I felt it. A feeling like the dark wasn't empty. The older workers, they'd joke about the echoes. These strange sounds you'd hear bouncing off the walls. I just brushed it off. Figured it was just dudes messing with the rookie. Primera? What? Is it wrong? It was a cold winter night. A real Detroit snowstorm burying the city. We got a pressure spike alert from a sensor near the old Packard plant. That place, it looked like a haunted fortress, even on a sunny day. All graffiti and broken windows. The whole structure sagging like it was trying to swallow itself. People went missing around there sometimes. But in this city, nobody ever looked too hard. My partner that night was a guy named Harris. Big dude. Quiet. With this dead serious stare that made you uneasy. On the way there, Eterne Tomé, his face grim in the dashboard light, he said, "Listen, if you hear anything down there, anything at all, you don't answer it. You hear me? Don't say a word." I laughed, but he didn't. Not even a crack of a smile. We found the access grate, a huge, rusted metal circle half buried in the snow. We pried it open, and the smell that came up. It wasn't just sewage. It was old. Like centuries old. We climbed down the iron ladder into the tunnels. The deeper we went, the warmer the air got. A strange, unnatural heat rising from the stone itself. These tunnels were different. They were ancient, built with brick, not concrete. And they were way too wide. Like they were made for something much bigger than just water. I was busy logging pressure readings, trying to ignore the oppressive quiet, when I heard it. My name. Marcus. It wasn't a whisper. It was spoken. Clear as day. I looked over at Harris. "Did you hear that?" He didn't even turn. He just kept working, his voice low and tight. "Don't answer it." Then I heard another voice. Tiana's voice. "Marcos, baby, where are you?" My heart just about stopped. Ispund Harhund, sweeping my flashlight down the long, black tunnel. It was empty. Just the endless brick and the sound of dripping water. I thought someone was messing with us, using a radio or something. But Harris just looked at me, his eyes filled with this heavy, knowing sadness. He said, "It knows your fears." Before I could even ask what he meant, something cold touched my shoulder. I flinched and turned around, and there she was, my mom. She'd been dead for 12 years. She smiled at me, that same gentle smile, and called me baby, just like she did when I was a kid having nightmares. For a second, all I felt was relief. I almost stepped toward her, but Harris grabbed my arm, hard, and yanked me back, and then her face. Dot. It twisted, her mouth stretched impossibly wide. Her eyes ballooned into solid black orbs, and she let out this shriek that wasn't human. It was a sound that tore at your soul. And we run. We just run. The tunnels themselves seemed to shift and groaned around us, like they were alive. New paths branched off, where there were solid walls just seconds before. Footsteps chased us, not just one set. It sounded like a crowd, an army, pounding on the bricks right behind us. Finally, up ahead, we saw a ladder. A single beam of pale moonlight cut through the darkness from an open grate above. Harris shoved me toward it. Go. Climb. I didn't hesitate. I scrambled up that ladder faster than I've ever moved in my life, my lungs burning, the shrieking echoing all around me. When I reached the top, gasping, I looked back down for Harris. He wasn't climbing. He was just standing at the bottom, staring up at me. His face strangely calm. He said, "It doesn't let us all leave." Then something dark and massive shot out from a side tunnel and yanked him into the blackness. I burst out onto the icy street, the cold air hitting me like a physical blow. The grate slammed shut behind me with a final, metallic boom. I told the department what happened. I told them everything. But they didn't seem surprised. They just nodded. Filed the report. That messed with my head worse than the tunnels did. After that, I stopped sleeping. I'd hear things in my apartment at night. Whispers. Footsteps in the hall. The sound of dripping water when all the faucets were off. Sometimes, I'd hear Harris's voice, clear as day, just saying my name. Then Tiana went into labor, early. At the hospital, the lights in her room kept flickering, just like the streetlights outside the Packard plant. Our baby was born, a beautiful little girl. They handed her to me. I was so scared, so happy, all at once. I held her close, and she opened her mouth, but it wasn't a cry that came out. It was the tunnels. I heard the echoes, the whispers, the shrieking. I heard Harris whispering my name from my own daughter's mouth. I dropped her. I didn't mean to. I just ducked. My arms gave out. Security dragged me out of the room, Tiana screaming my name. They thought I'd snapped from the stress. Maybe I did, but I knew what I heard. Something had followed me out. Things in the city got worse. More workers started disappearing. People reported hearing strange noises from the sewers, sewer grates rattling on their own at night. Whole blocks would lose power for no reason, like something underground was just inhaling the electricity. I couldn't take it anymore. Primera detonó. I went back to the Packard plant. The great ... It was open, just sitting there, waiting for me, so I climbed back down. The tunnels were different now. The walls pulsed with a faint, sick light. Like living flesh, there were faces screaming silently from the bricks, their mouths stretched in agony. In a huge, central chamber, I saw him. Heresy was alive, but he was wrong. His skin was pale. His eyes were gone. A spoke to me, his voice a dry rasp. He said the city was hungry, that it remembered everything, every scream, every death, every broken life that had ever happened on its streets. He said it fed on that pain. Then he looked right at me, or where my face would be, and asked, "Did you really escape that night, Marcus? Or has the echo just been pretending you lived?" I ran again, climbed that same ladder, burst out onto a street, gasping for air. But it wasn't Detroit. The buildings were wrong. The sky was a weird color. My phone rang. Tiana's name on the screen. I answered, my hand shaking. It was my daughter's voice. That sweet little baby voice, she said. "Daddy, come back inside." "Inside where?" I whispered. There was a long silence. Then her voice, no longer a baby's, but ancient and vast, sighed one word: Detroit. Detroit. The pavement pulsed under my feet, unbend to me. I heard the sound of a rusted metal grate scraping open, waiting.